I am here in Venlo, in Limburg, at Solaris.com. And Solaris.com is a solar manufacturer. You see here a panel. And they claim that they have 3 times the efficiency of solar energy out of compared to the normal PV panels. And I'm talking, what's your name?
Göran Lundgren.
Yeah, you're chairman of the board here, and you used to work at Vattenfall. And tell me when Vattenfall decided that solar was going to be in the future.
Well, that goes back a long time, early 90s or even before that. Vattenfall decided we need to find out what the real potential of solar energy is. Can it rock the boat for a company, an energy company?
Yeah. For the people who don't know, Vattenfall is the Swedish state-owned operated energy company, and who's very progressive. They've been in electric driving. I have another interview on that, and they also started in solar, and they bought Nuon here in the Netherlands, which wasn't a very good investment, I believe. But
well, it was expensive, but it was a good company.
It's a good company, but it was very expensive. So solar was you started to invest in products in solar, and that's where Solaris came out. And how did that come about?
Well, part of the development within Vattenfall was developing the technology, testing all variants and so on. And some innovative people at the time developed a hybrid, or a concept of a hybrid, which is then both a thermal collector and an electric generator through photovoltaics.
Okay, so this thing in the background here, this produces heat, hot water, and electricity.
Yes. Okay. So to put it very simply, the first generation from the 90s produced heat only. Yeah. Second generation, which we all think is solar energy today, the flat panels, the photovoltaics, they produce only electricity. Yeah. Third generation, which we think we are, then produces both. Cogeneration, combined heat and power, which is sort of the buzzword for efficient energy conversion into heat and electricity.
Yeah, you put a thing like this on your roof, and you have heating and you have electricity enough for the whole house.
Well, if you, depending on the size of the house and where you are, but 1 or 2 or 3 panels will do the job. Then you will have to integrate that into your building, of course, and you have to arrange for storage and or interaction with your local grid. Yeah.
The normal PV panels, so the solar panels we have a percentage of efficiency of about 20%. How much can you reach in this hybrid solution?
Well, if you look at the combined output of heat and electricity, we're talking in the 70s.
Yeah, so 70, so 3 times more. And I mean, and you know, there's, if you look at how we spend energy, 1/3 is for transportation, 1/3 is for heating, and 1/3 is for industry. And this you can.
It's actually more for heating, because 1/3 of that goes into industry has a lot of heating and drying.
Yeah. Okay. But this kind of system is fantastic for the houses and for offices. So you can heat them and you can provide electricity and have a very high yield for this kind of solutions.
Yes.
And when was this company spun out of Vattenfall and into a company?
Yeah, well, Solaris was established in 2008 and basically took over some of these technologies in 2009 and 10, and has spent several years on developing the technology, developing prototypes, reference projects, and so on. And we have now established a small-scale, half-automated production here in Venlo.
In Venlo, in the center of Europe, as Venlo likes to talk to himself. Yeah. So now there is a small amount of manufacturing. And what is the idea about this company? Is it an intellectual property? Do you want to do the production yourself, or do you want to license it to everybody else?
It's been part of our business concept all the time that we shall work with partners, licensees in different places in the world. We will provide the key components that we will continue to manufacture here, or in the future outsource in larger scale production.
What is the key component?
That is what we call the receiver absorber, which has absorbs the heat and has the...
Where is that here? If I see this here in this panel?
This bar here, which is an aluminum bar with a liquid running through it to absorb the heat, and has solar cells on both sides. So the solar cells on the top side will then be hit by the sun directly, and on the lower side it will be reflected and concentrated in this reflector. If you see the mirror picture here in the reflector of the cells on the lower side.
And this produces 70% yield instead of 20% only if you do direct electricity. And how, if you put a system like that in my house, I mean, I have day and night, and I have winter and summer. How do you have a buffer which comes with this?
I think the simple answer is that if you're aiming at producing about 60% of your annual need from solar, that can be done relatively easily. If you want to go higher and include storage of heat and storage of electricity in a larger scale, then it becomes more complicated. But you have thermal storage in your house probably already. You have water tanks and so on, and you can use those intelligently for storing thermal energy, heat.
You could easily do day and night, and maybe good days and bad days. Winter and summer will be more difficult. You have to add gas or something like that, or electricity.
The source is that has to be included. But then that is the Dutch situation. If you have other parts of the world where they
go to more heat, if it's more heating.
Hey, then you may well need cooling. So you can use the heat to produce cool.
Oh, really? Okay, so you can have a heat pump or something like that.
It's a reversed heat pump, basically. It will produce cooling, which you can integrate with some heating of hot water as well.
Okay. So where's the company now? Who are the owners, and where is it located? Who does the research, and where is it going?
So we have, it's located main headquarters now and production facility in small scale in Venlo, the Netherlands. We have R&D activities in Sweden. Strong linkages to universities. We have ownership, about 75, 80 essentially small investors.
Angels.
Both in the Netherlands, in Sweden, and in other countries. We have 2 local investors here in Venlo.
One is called the Rabobank, I think.
The bank has a foundation to support and invest in innovative technology, which is one here.
How much money has been invested in the company?
Around 8 to 10 million euros over a longer period of time has been invested in developing to the stage where we are today.
Okay, and so when do you think you will have your, when will you go really in production? When will this have an impact on the market? How much time do you need for wrapping it up?
Well, I think we will be significantly wrapping it up during next year, 2016. Go into the market. We are dipping our toes into the market with first projects and some fairly large projects being under discussion and technically already approved. So first half of 2016, we will see a significant build-up both in the market and in production.
Okay, a solar company which basically combines warmth, heat, and electricity in Venlo, which has been coming out of Sweden and out of Valaval, an energy company. To be continued.